So when I met with my high school counselor at the end of my senior year, basically he let me know that I was not college material. I grew up in Coquille, Oregon, and grew up in extreme poverty, no electricity. We didn't have running water. We lived in a 2-bedroom house, and 5 of us kids slept in the same room. At another point in our lives, our house burned down to the ground and we lost everything. I never had a conversation with either of my parents about going on to college, and as long as you were able to bring home C's and not failing grades, that was okay. So after graduation, I spent 3 years in the service in Germany, and that's when it was East-West Germany. After completing my stint in the service, I came back home to Coquille, Oregon, and went to work in a plywood mill, and probably would still be working there if it would not have shut down. I was 34 years of age, and I was scared to death about the thought of going to college and competing with these students. There were several times I walked into that classroom and thought I had made a mistake. I would go home, and I can remember having my son, who was then early in his high school years, help me with Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and I ended up having to do Math 111, and I thought I was going to die. And the only thing I had going for me was my work ethic, because I knew that I would struggle, but I would be in that classroom every day, no matter what. I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in 3 years. So then went to work in the Power School District. End of my second year, the board chair and the superintendent walked down and said, "We would like you to be the next superintendent of the school district." I spent 20 years as a superintendent in 3 different districts before I was fortunate enough to come to the Beaverton School District. I have had to struggle through many challenges. Some of those have been economic, some of those have been social, emotional, all of those challenges. So I believe I am empathetic to families. I think I'm empathetic to students. I believe that every child has an unlimited capacity to learn. And how many children that were like me, how many students like me that were out there, if they just had a little bit of support, just a little bit of support, a little bit of encouragement. Even before COVID-19, we know that we had some significant disparities around race and economic, languages, and we know that COVID-19 is only making these disparities worse. So when I'm making decisions, I'm trying to think about who are our most vulnerable, who are our most at risk. And sometimes we're not going to make everybody happy, but what we really need to do first and foremost is have our children be the focus of the decisions that we make.